Hi, it's Taylor with Mom on the Spectrum, and today I'm sharing 25 autistic accommodations you didn't even know you needed. And in the spirit of authenticity, I am going to commit to this video not being edited. I'm not going to edit it, okay? I'm not going to edit it. Because I like to show kind of behind the scenes. My goal here on the channel is to be authentic and to provide real insight into the life of an autistic mom, a late diagnosed autistic mom. And sometimes that means I'm going to stumble over my words and it's not all pretty and put together really well. So I've heard from the community that you kind of like that approach. So that's what we're going with today. Wish me luck. I'm also doing my first ever YouTube giveaway. Okay, a little nervous about this, but also very excited because I'm going to be giving away one of my favorite products ever. It's new, improved, better than ever before, the Calmer 2 prototype earbuds. So I'm going to tell you more about that. Now, this giveaway is going to go through August 30th, 2024. And so if you're watching past that point, you can check out the description and I'll leave a timestamp that you can click to like jump past this part. But let's talk about autistic accommodations. So what I want you to know about this is, so like I said, I'm a late diagnosed autistic adult, and at the age of 31, I received my autism diagnosis, and I had been used to living without accommodations my whole life. I didn't even know that I needed accommodations. And I'm really excited to make this video to share with you because I've learned that even very small accommodations can add up to make a major difference in your life. When we get used to living without accommodations, you may have heard me say this before if you're a regular here, it's kind of like living with a pebble in your shoe. And you're like, oh, it's not too bad. Like this is how it's always been. It's just a tiny pebble. But then you actually take the pebble out and you feel what it's like to live without that pebble. And you're like, oh my gosh, it's so easy to take that pebble out. And I could have been living this way the whole time. So that's for me what incorporating small accommodations has been in my life. I'm a very high functioning autistic person. I know that term is charged. But in the sense that other people don't really know that I'm struggling. And my approach has kind of been, well, I've done it without an accommodation before, so why should I accommodate myself now? The answer is because it pays in dividends and it has huge ripple effects. The more you can accommodate yourself, the more cognitive energy you can free up to be present and to focus and to feel good. And that's worth everything. So what I'm doing today is I'm sharing, this is probably only half the list that I created with the help of my community, with the Mom on the Spectrum community. This is a list that I have featured in one of my resources called How to Unstuckify Your Life. And if you're interested in getting this full list of resources, you can check the link in the description to figure that out, or to download that and check it out for yourself. But like I said, this list that I'm sharing with you today, has been compiled with the help of a lot of really beautiful people within the community because I wanted suggestions for things that actually make a difference. Okay, not just somebody yapping about, I don't know, some random technique that sounds nice, but in theory doesn't really do anything. So let me make sure that I said everything that I'm supposed to say there. This is where I would edit it out, but I'm not going to. Okay, so let's talk about the first accommodations. I've got 25 for you today. The first one, if you could have guessed, is my earbuds. So I never thought that I was going to be an earbud person. Why would I need to wear earbuds? That's so dramatic and unnecessary, right? But one of my friends actually, right when I started the channel, she suggested that I try them out. And I was hesitant because I didn't think I needed them. I didn't think they would make that much of a difference. I don't like sound to be blocked. If sound is muffled, it makes me even more upset. So any earbuds that I've tried in my life, no thanks. I don't like them. But these that I have, that I love, they're made by a company called Flare. And you can see all the way through them, there's a hole, so they still let sound through. But what it does is it reduces the highs and the lows, the high and the low frequencies, so that you get more of an evenly balanced middle frequency. And the best I can explain it is it takes me from this to this. And I keep these in my purse. I have a couple of pairs lying around, keep them in my purse. The place that I notice the most difference is at school when I have functions for my kids. I can't do them without these, or I'm very, very sad and frustrated if I forget them, because it just makes things more manageable. And I think Flare says it makes the spiky sounds smooth, right? So even if you're not using Flare, just maybe try some earbuds. You might want over the ear headphones. You might not like the feeling of having something in your ear. I don't really either, but I don't notice these. And that's part of why I like, y'all have heard me talk about Flare before, but this is a new version. So these are the ones I'm giving away. And if you want to try them, you can enter the giveaway. So let me explain to you this giveaway thing. It's going to be for the Calmer 2 earbuds. I have Flare has generously given me several pairs, so I'm going to be giving away 3 of the Calmer 2 prototypes, new and improved from the original version, and then also a Calmer 2 premium prototype pair. So the difference between the two, the premium have like a memory foam, which I love because it fills up the space in my ear and it feels very secure. It's not going anywhere. What y'all are also going to love about these is that they come with different sizes. So the original Flare earbuds that I've told you about before, you kind of had to guess on which size you thought would work. Well, not anymore. It comes with small, medium, and large, and you can try them out and see which ones fit you. No extra charge for all of the sizes to come in the same package. And then the ones that are not, ooh, sorry, that's probably really loud. Not going to edit it out. Sorry, just going to have to deal with it. The ones that aren't premium, they're just kind of like a squishy, rubbery kind of feel, as opposed to the memory foam that are a little bit more dense. They both work really well. It just kind of depends on which kind of feel you're wanting. Okay. So in order to enter the giveaway, and then we'll get into the rest of our list, subscribe to my channel, like this video, just give it a thumbs up, and then comment about why you'd like to try a pair of the earbuds. And then please make sure that you read the entry giveaway. How do I say that? Please make sure that you read the giveaway guidelines and rules, entry rules in the description. Okay, so YouTube isn't sponsoring this in any way. Totally my thing. Flare donated the earbuds, and get all of your entries in by August 30th. I'm going to announce it in a video. Let me see, what did I write down? I'm going to announce it in a video on my channel on Wednesday, September 4th. Okay, so there's going to be 4 winners. 3 of you are going to get the Calmer 2 prototype, and 1 of you is going to get the Calmer 2 prototype premium. And I can't wait to share them with you. I'll also put a link, like if you just can't wait, I'll put a link in the description so you can check them out yourself, and proceeds will come back to the channel. So thank you so much for supporting me in that. I get a lot of messages from you saying, I love the Flare. I do too. I have them with me all the time. Okay. Second accommodation. Pull my list back up. Okay. Second accommodation is to ask to meet at a sensory-friendly place. So now that you know your autistic patterns, and you probably are finding out that, I don't know if you can hear the jet above me, speaking of sensory interruptions. I live right next to an air base, and there's the Blue Angels, getting sidetracked, but just really incredible aircraft that fly over my house that are super loud. Okay, so asking to meet at a sensory-friendly place. So now that you're becoming more aware of your autistic patterns, the lights probably easily upset you if they're too bright. Maybe a loud kitchen is going to keep you from enjoying the conversation. So knowing what you know about your patterns, whenever you schedule events or meet someone, ask if you can pick the place, or if you can suggest something that's a little bit quieter and easier to endure, right? Don't be scared to speak up for things that you need. Okay, number 3, say, I need some time to think about this. This has changed my life. It sounds dramatic, but it really has. So a lot of times when somebody asks me a question, what I'm realizing is I kind of have these social scripts, these responses that I know are more acceptable, and sometimes that's not what I want to say. And I don't really realize that that's what I want to say until I've left the conversation and have some time by myself and come back. So what I've started letting myself do is, if somebody needs information from me and I'm not ready to give them an answer, I'll just say, I'm not sure how I feel about this. I'm not sure what I think yet. I just need a little bit of time. It's changed everything. Okay, try it. Let me know how it goes. Number 4, STEM. I have a lot of videos over this. Real quick, what I've learned is that there's small stems and large stems. And a lot of us, we still found ways to covertly stem, like the small ways, like tapping, twirling hair, picking at skin and nails, tapping toes, scrunching your toes in your shoes. Let me know if that's you. I always catch somebody. Um, we have ways of still doing those small stems, but a lot of us have trained out the large stems. And those large stems are really important, like rocking, bouncing, jumping, flapping. Those help us move excess pent up energy outside of the body, especially when we're dysregulated. So, intentionally stemming, another life changing habit and accommodation. Number 5, research a new location before visiting. So, for me, I'm going to Google Maps it. I'm going to look at a picture of the outside of the location. I'm going to research the menu so that I don't have to decide what I want to eat in front of another person, because then I'm trying to be social and also take into account like my dietary differences and preferences and like sensory aversions. So I can look at the menu in peace before I go. I will research parking. How much is it going to cost? How far away am I going to have to park? What's the ambiance like? I just do my research before I go to a new place, and that really helps me feel like I can be more present, especially if it's like with another person, if it's a social thing. Number 6, leave overwhelming situations. Okay, you don't have to stay and endure things if it's something that is causing you pain and discomfort. As a mom, I know that that's not always possible. Like, I am always upset and overwhelmed in a school setting because it's just too much small talk, too much noise. I know you can't always leave, but in some situations you can, and it's okay to take that option. So leaving is, explore the boundaries there. Number 7, ask for clearly outlined expectations and deadlines. So this could be at work, this could be with a partner. When are you expecting me to be there? What are you hoping to get out of this? Anytime we can know like more fully what's expected of us and when it's expected by, this helps us to show up more fully. Okay, so this is another, I run autistic support groups. I'll put a link in the bio, link in the description. Which platform am I on? I'll put a link there to my groups, but in the groups we talk about, one thing that comes up a lot is this confusion about expectations. So anytime you can ask for clarification there, that can really help us feel more centered and calm. Okay, number 8, communicate non-verbally. So there's all kinds of cool stuff. I'll have to try to find some to share with you. There's companies that have like autistic run businesses that have nonverbal cards that you can use to communicate. They might say, I'm feeling overwhelmed, or I'm feeling shut down, or I don't have words, or you can make your own. You can make your own cards to communicate with family. I'm trying to think of something for myself, honestly, because I've been kind of losing my words with my kids lately because it's back to school and they have so many words and I only can tolerate so much. Like my brain just feels like it has smoke coming out of it. So I'm trying to think of like a nonverbal hand signal or something to give my kids so that they can know, hey, I'm with you, but like I'm not going to be able to respond. So coming up with a gesture, using cards, you can text, even if like my daughter, she's 10 and she and I will just text back and forth sometimes, even if she's in the other room, like she's in her room, I'm in my office, and we text back and forth. That's really helpful. Emailing, again, even if it's your partner, sometimes if you can't speak, I know a lot of times I feel like I do better communicating what I want to say in writing than in person. So it's totally okay to take those approaches, and I would encourage you to explore those avenues if you have not already. There's also the AAC devices, what is it? Alternative, and I can never remember the other A, and something communication, but they're like tablets that are designed to help autistic people speak and communicate. Number 9, occupational therapy. This is a huge one. So autistic kids grow up to be autistic adults, right? Occupational therapy is mostly targeted towards children. Probably if you're an autistic parent with an autistic kid, you've heard OT recommended. But OT, occupational therapy, is also a fantastic, whoa, why did it do that? The camera's moving with me, a fantastic resource for adults as well. So if you have trouble managing like everyday autistic stressors, a good occupational therapist who understands adult autism will help you come up with like really practical strategies for managing everyday stressors, even as simple as like having meltdowns if you're washing the dishes or, trying to schedule a work event, whatever. Occupational therapists can really, really help us with common autistic stressors. So check that out. I actually have a link for a few of them in my Big Autistic Resource Guide. I'll put the link in the description. Big Autistic Resource Guide is free to download. Lots of really cool resources for you to check out. Number 10, using the phrase, it makes sense that I feel this way. So, raise your hand, class, if any of you have been called overreactive, oversensitive, you're overthinking, you're being dramatic. What's important to realize, especially as a late diagnosed autistic adult, is that the feedback that your body is giving you is important. You're probably not being overreactive or oversensitive. You're probably responding to important feedback that your body is giving you about the environment that you're in. So one really healing statement to use that I love to use all the time now is, it makes sense. I'm feeling this way, right? If I'm on the verge of a meltdown, rather than shaming myself, oh, it makes sense that I feel this way. And then I'll kind of trace back. The kids had a tough day today. It's really hot. Like in Texas, it feels like 108 degrees right now. That's always really dysregulating. So just kind of reminding myself, okay, it makes sense that I'm feeling really overwhelmed right now. And that can kind of help bring you back to a more calm and regulated state. Number 11, spend time with animals. I'm just going to leave it at that. That's very healing and regulating. Okay. Number 12, keep comfort items with you. And I made a video about this recently with like transitional objects. And again, I'll mention somebody, you know who you are, who shared that he has a watch that he keeps on, and that helps him feel grounded. Like he knows that that watch is going to be the same from activity to activity, from environment to environment, and that's very comforting to him. Some other people have like a fidget that they keep on their key ring, or bringing, you could bring a blanket. It's okay if you're an adult, like bring a comfort blanket with you. Like who cares? It's 2024. Like be weird, just bring comforting things with you, and that can be really helpful. Okay. Number 13, a weighted backpack. This doesn't have to be anything special. You can just get a backpack and put books in it. Okay. This is something that I feel like I'm saying K a lot. This is something that teachers can do with neurodivergent children in the classroom to help them feel calm and safe and secure, is to put some weight on their back, because it kind of feels like a hug. It kind of feels like an embrace. So you might try that, like if you're traveling or you have to go to the grocery store, just going and keeping some weight on your back, it might actually feel kind of nice. Number 14, have difficult conversations when walking or driving. So caveat here, obviously, be safe, exercise caution, right? Like make smart choices. But whenever you are actively engaged in a monotonous task, like walking or driving, it can kind of help us engage with other parts of our brain. This is actually a really good tip for parents too. If you need to have a conversation with your kids that's more serious or important, you can have it with them when you're driving. It's a little bit less intense because you're not like looking at them and making eye contact and making them feel, perceived and this pressure to respond. It's a less intense environment where there feels like there's a little bit more freedom to interact in your own format. So consider, having important conversations when you're walking or driving to help you feel a little bit more safe and secure. Be smart, be cautious. Number 15, automate processes. Anything you can do to automate stuff. So one thing that I have done out of necessity, because my cat Beltray, he is an orange cat who has to eat. He has to eat. When he's ready to eat, he has to eat. That's the only thing that matters. So I got an automatic pet feeder, and it goes off twice a day. I don't even have to think about it. He still lets me know. Like he sits right in front of me before I open my eyes in the morning and like lets me know that better go off or else I'm going to tell you about it. And, just tidbit here, I have portioned it out the very least amount of food that I can give him without him biting my ankles. So if I give him any less food than what is currently proportioned in his feeder, he will bite my ankles until I give him more food. I don't know. He's just going to be a big fat cat. Like there's no way around it, because I don't want to have claw marks all over my legs. Okay, so other processes that you can automate, like meal delivery, grocery delivery, setting timers to help you know when to transition into a different activity, like from work to meal prep or whatever it might be. Automating things is just a really helpful way to decrease the load on our executive functioning. Executive functioning, got a video about it, planning, organizing, task execution, thinking through logistically. Okay. Um, I wrote like sprinklers, automating your sprinklers if you can do that. Even billing stuff online. So like my kids' school lunches, I have it set to where anytime it gets below a certain threshold, that it will automatically just add more money. So I don't even have to think about it. It's set, one less thing that I have to remember. That, like I said, all of these accommodations, the goal is to help free up cognitive space so that we have more space to breathe and to enjoy our lives and to be ourselves. All of these things is like habit stacking. If you've studied that, habit stacking can create some really profound, incredible effects in our lives. Okay, number 16. I got this tip from Paige Lael. She's another YouTuber. If you haven't heard of her, check her out. She has just like the kindest, sweetest spirit, and I love her. I love her content. But one thing she said that I thought was so random and awesome is to switch all of your kitchenware with bamboo, like bamboo material. So oh, that was probably really loud. I'm sorry. Surprise. So rather than having like loud, clanky plates, can't think of the words. It's so annoying when plates clash together. It's so loud. And then I don't know if anybody else is like me, but when there's a loud sound, my brain like replays it and it's like echoing in my head, even though the sound is gone. Okay, so Paige suggested, why don't you replace all that with bamboo plates, bamboo silverware, so that if anything falls on the ground, it's a much more muted, palatable sound. And when you think about how many times a day you're dealing with a plate or hearing those sounds in your kitchen, it might be a lot. And so that's one way that you can reduce that sensory overwhelm in your kitchen. I love that. Number 17, body doubling. What this means is just having another person come alongside you to do a similar task. So if you're stuck in bed and you live with someone, you have a partner, you can say, hey, will you walk into the kitchen with me? Right. And there I go with the right again. Having that additional person to help you transition into a different space can be really helpful. Also at work, you could text your coworker, hey, you want to meet me in the break room in 15 minutes for lunch? Just having that additional person share the space with you can be a really helpful accommodation. Going to the grocery store with a partner, going to a doctor's appointment with a partner. Basically, body doubling is just inviting another person into that experience with you to help you transition from one difficult environment to another. Number 18, buying multiples of clothes you feel good in. No shame, just wear what you want to wear. And if you have a blue shirt that you like to wear and you want to wear it every day, more power to you. One of the people in our groups, I love her so much. I'll keep her anonymous, but you know who you are. She just gets so excited because she's just embraced it. And her closet is just blue. Like she knows the clothes that she wants to wear. They work for her and she's just accepted it. And this has taken a huge load off her plate. So embrace it. Do whatever you want to do. Wear the clothes you want to wear. When you find something that works, go for it. And kind of along that note, number 19, compression clothing. So this could be something like, athletic wear that is tight fitting. Maybe it's not like made for autistic people, but it's sports wear. That type of clothing can be really, really comforting. So whether it's like leggings or compression sleeves, even, there's like compression stuff for your feet as well. You can play around with it. I have some socks that have kind of a compression band around the middle, and I really like that a lot because there's a lot of autistic people that feel like we always need to wear socks, and I really like compression socks. Those feel really good. Number 20, Goblin tools. Okay, if you haven't checked out Goblin tools, do it. Well, I say it like I'm issuing that, like it's going to become a demand and you're going to become demand avoidant. So retract that statement. Goblin tools will greatly accentuate and support your neurodivergent needs. Goblin tools will greatly support you, okay, with your neurodivergent needs. You just type in goblin.tools into your browser. This is not an ad. It's a free service. It helps with all kinds of executive functioning stuff. I'm kind of a fangirl, so I'm going to at least tell you a little bit about it. There's like 5 or 6 different components. It's AI based, and there's like a magic to-do list. So you tell it what you need to do, and then it breaks it down into steps for you. You can you can ask it to help you decode the tone of something. So if your boss sent you an email and you're like, what is she saying? You can put it into this decoder and it'll tell you the tone of the email. If you need to send an email or you need to communicate something, you can paste the body of text that you're needing to send, and you can ask it to make it less snarky, make it less emotional, make it more logical. There's all these different things it can do to help you navigate. Another one I really like, and then we'll move to the next thing, is I think it's called the chef. You can put in whatever ingredients you have in your pantry, your fridge. You can put in food preferences, allergies, and it will give you recipes that you can use with what you have in your house. It's awesome. Okay, so goblin.tools. It's amazing and it's free. I think that there's an app version of it that's a one-time 99-cent fee. Check it out. 21, crying. This kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier, how many of us have been told that we're overreactive or too sensitive. Crying is actually really, really regulating. So embrace it. A lot of times when we give in to the tears, we think it's going to last forever, and it doesn't. It's just kind of like this short release of, wow, I was really overwhelmed and now I feel better. So embrace the crying. Okay, crying is cool now. Number 22. I love this one. It's very hard for me, but it has become incredibly important in my life. This is learning how to use your finances to support your neurodivergent patterns. What do I mean by that? For me, that means pay the convenience fees. And I hate it because there's a lot of me that's like, well, I can drive to go pick up my food, so I'm going to drive to go pick up my food. But I've started just accepting, for me personally, what works for me is more meal delivery services in my life. What works for me is budgeting so that I can hire a cleaner to come clean my house. And again, I'm a single mom, and so I've had to learn how to kind of re-navigate. I've had to learn how to kind of reconfigure my finances to support myself in new ways. And it's really hard because, like I said, like I could clean my house. I'm very specific about how I clean my house, if you can imagine. But I've started outsourcing that because I need help. I need support, and I'm letting my finances support me in that way. Now, I know some of you are going to say, well, that sounds nice. Like it'd be great to hire a house cleaner. And I get it. There's definitely been times in my life when that has not been feasible, but I would encourage you to find small ways to start investing in your well-being by using your finances to make your life easier. It can start very, very small. Okay. Even paying a neighborhood teenager, $15 to watch your kids so that you can just have a breather, just for an hour. Start making little changes like that, and you'll start to see, I really truly believe that once you start freeing up energy like that, it kind of snowballs in different aspects of your life. So instead of feeling like, oh, I don't have enough money, that's never possible for me, just start really small and see how it increases the energy that you have to start investing more of yourself into your life. It's really incredible. It's a little bit intimidating and requires some courage, especially if you have like some scarcity money habits, like I'm trying to heal from. It's tricky, but I would highly suggest it. Okay, number 23 might seem a little oversimplistic, but I do think it's kind of a shortcut hack, and that is drinking hot tea. Why? Because a lot of times when we're overwhelmed and dysregulated, we are either worried about something that has happened in the past that we can no longer change, or we're worried about something in the future that, spoiler alert, probably won't happen because most of the things we worry about don't happen. Hot tea brings us into the present moment. It's a very sensory experience. So you have the warmth of the cup in your hand, you have the aroma of the tea that you're breathing in. You're probably sitting kind of still because you don't want to spill the tea on yourself because that would hurt. So there's this whole sensory component of stillness, of smell, of touch, and taste, and even just having that repetitive motion of having something to bring up to your lips. This can be really helpful in the evening too, like if you're a habitual snacker late at night. Sometimes just having something to bring to your lips and like enjoy and Yeah, just enjoy in the evenings. That can kind of curb those snack cravings that you might have. So hot tea, very simple accommodation, but it's actually very calming. I like, let's see, there's like a prickly pear tea that I like. I would suggest caffeine-free teas just because caffeinated teas might add some more overwhelm to your nervous system. So look for decaf. Chamomile is very relaxing, maybe like a sleepy time tea late at night. All good options. Okay, number 24, laughing. This is an accommodation that I've made for myself without even realizing it. I've always gravitated towards comedy. I love stand-up. I don't know. I feel like without even thinking, like when I've had a bad day, I just turn a stand-up on, like a stand-up set on from Netflix or something, HBO. And laughing is super, super regulating. So it stimulates your vagus nerve. Wait, I'm going to save that for another video so that I don't give like 8 videos in one. Laughing is incredibly healing. So pursue opportunities to laugh. There's an improv comedy hall in downtown Fort Worth that I love. And it's a really, really great opportunity to just decompress a little bit. And then number 25, accept your patterns rather than trying to change them. And I think this might be maybe the most important accommodation of all, and something that I realized when I got my autism diagnosis. There's a lot of things that I no longer feel like I have to change because I understand why, right? It's not, right? It's not, oh, this is a weird habit. How can I change this? It's like, oh, I understand why I do this now. There's a reason why I do it. And rather than trying to fight against it, because what we resist persists. So if you fight against your patterns, they're just going to drive you more wild. Accept your patterns, create space to accommodate those patterns. If you know that you're going to need a lot more time to get ready than you usually do, rather than saying, oh, I hope I can get ready in 30 minutes, start building an hour into your schedule and, stop comparing yourself to other people who don't need that hour. Like you are you, and you have accommodations and patterns that are really important. The more we resist our patterns, the more cognitive dissonance there is. And I have found myself, like when I get in a tizzy with that cognitive dissonance of like, oh, I wish that I didn't need this, or I wish I could do this more easily, la, 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 la. It just prolongs everything. It prolongs the mental fog. It's much better to just be like, you know what, I'm having a hard time with this. How can I better accommodate myself? Is there anything I can take off my plate, et cetera, et cetera. So like I said, this is just like maybe not even half of the accommodations that I have in my How to Unstuckify Your Life guide, link in description. These were compiled with the help of the autistic community. I think there's so many more in the guide that will also be helpful to you if you want to check that out. I'm really, really excited to share these new earbuds with you. Seriously, I can't say enough positive things about them. I loved the original Flare Calmer. This is like a 10x upgrade, okay? 10x upgrade. So in order to participate in the giveaway, like this video, subscribe to my channel, post a comment about why you want to try the earbuds. Contest goes through Friday, August 30th. Winner will be announced on my channel Wednesday, September 4th, close to 12 p.m. We'll see. That's the plan. I'm trying to bank on that, trying to plan around that. And yeah, the bottom line is just please be kind to yourself. It takes a lot of grace and patience to learn how to accommodate yourself, especially as a late diagnosed autistic adult. And if you're looking for a place to do that, I have an online community that you can check out for free. So there's a 7-day free trial. Don't even have to put a credit card in, because I know our ADHD brains are always signing up for subscriptions and forgetting to cancel them. And I wanted to give you a way around that. So all these links in the description, take your time, get to know them. Comment if you have questions for me. You'll find this is the part of the video that I always edit out, because saying goodbye and wrapping stuff up is so hard and I don't know how to end it. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.